Hi everybody, welcome back to another lesson in my Burgmuller's Opus 100 for Solo Learners course. In this video we're going to learn number 23, the return. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and if you like what you see, give this video a thumbs up. Also, I offer online piano lessons. If you're looking for one, there's going to be information below. And if you'd like to get this very special edition of Burgmuller's Opus 100 specifically for solo learners book, or join the entire course and watch all the videos from the book, links will be below too. The return is really an exercise in very, very light staccato chords in both hands and voicing a melody in those chords, because the melody is always at the top note. So we've got 4 notes all the time and the melody is the top one, so we really want to voice that. And to me, this kind of rushed feeling is showing excitement when you're returning home or returning from somewhere, and I think that's what the piece is trying to capture. We are in the key of E flat major, so we have 3 flats, B flat, E flat and A flat, and we are in 6/8 time, which is compound time, so 6 eighth note beats in every bar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it needs to feel like it's in duple time, 1, 2, 1, 2. Of course, when you play slower, it's not going to feel like that, but as you gain speed, ultimately it has to feel like it's in 2, and it says molto agitato quasi presto, so really, really agitated, almost like presto, so almost very fast, but not quite like a Duracell bunny, so you can still take it a little bit slower and enjoy those melodies. I've broken it down to 4 sections, and as you can see, the B section returns. So we're going to start with the A section now, which is the introduction. The left hand is super easy, it's just a B flat all the way through. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so an octave in the bottom and then repeating. Now here you can use 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, or you can use 5, 1, 1, 1, so the thumb throughout. Now you see some people find it very difficult to use the 1, 2, 1, you slip off the black note. I actually prefer using my thumb, but if you use the thumb throughout, you have to make sure that the sound is a refined tone, so it doesn't feel like you know, pushing in like some kind of hammer. So you still want to create a beautiful sound, a light staccato, and making sure that there is evenness in those repeated notes, especially if you are using one finger only. And that's the left hand, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, keeping a very soft wrist and playing very lightly, very evenly, just barely touching the key just to get that beautiful light staccato sound. The right hand has thirds and then 6. In the second half, it's a legato melody starting 3, 5 on the F A flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's the right hand melody. Now, as you can see, we've got 3 phrases, so we want to really sing through these legatos and make sure the double notes make one sound. So instead of, and you can see an accent on the first one, and we have a crescendo, so by the time we get to the 6th, we need to be the loudest. And here you can again choose a fingering that works for you, because we've got quite big intervals and they need to be legato. So I'm using 1, 5, 1, 4 connecting, 1, 3, and then lifting up the 1 and connecting again. So at least one note is staying connected throughout. Hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crescendo. And that's the introduction. Now let's go on to the B section, which is the main melody. Now we have a lot of repeated chords here, so the primary goal is to not build up tension and to feel lightness when we play these staccato chords. Very light wrist. Just make sure you do a few circles with the wrist, with the fingers on the keys, just to feel this freedom of movement, because that's what we need to maintain when we play those many repeated fast staccato chords, which can create this kind of rigid feeling in the hand, and you want to avoid that because it's not going to work and it's also going to get very tiring. So the left hand is super simple. We have the same chord all the way through, which is an E flat major. So E flat, B flat, And again, I just want to very lightly tap that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it moves very briefly to D, B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and back to E flat. So we've got a B flat major and an E flat. And again, just practicing the lightness, the relaxation in the hand, and making sure it's very even. So start very slowly, and as you go quicker and quicker, be very light, because it has to be pianissimo, and also pay attention to the accuracy of the two notes. The right hand has very similar chords, but it's outlining a melody. So if you look at it, the bottom note is the same throughout, it's a G except for one bar, and the top is what's moving. So it's quite easy to read if you only focus on the top note. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was the right hand. So what do I want to do here? I want to make sure my thumb is not too strong, so I can really hear the melody at the top. This is what we want to hear. Which is a very playful melody. And we have this contrast here in the fourth bar, that legato. After all these staccatos, we have a legato, and then back to staccato. And whilst you play that legato, you have to play these A flats in the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And make sure those are very soft, because it's not part of the melody. So connecting through E, F. And then back to the second line, same thing. So keeping the thumb very light and enjoying the melody at the top, and accenting the number 1 and maybe the 4 a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. And here again, we've got some 6, so choose a fingering that works for you. Connecting, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So holding on to that E flat and playing the G 6 times. And that's the tune. Now when you put it together, the difficulty is to get all 4 notes to make one unified sound. So really practicing this accuracy, sinking into the 4 notes exactly together, but with very soft wrists. And when you can do that comfortably, make sure you emphasize the melody on the top and everything else is staying light. So here, really enjoy that legato. Back to staccato. And now just the B flat. And finishing that first section. The C section is my favorite, it's the most expressive, it gets very dramatic, it goes into the relative minor, C minor, and we get this very dark minor tone. The biggest change in the C section is that the melody now is solely in the left hand, and it's not a staccato melody like in the right hand, it's a beautiful legato melody made of arpeggios and very short melodies. So let's start with the left hand. We're going to start with a C minor arpeggio, so C, E flat, G, and the second one is going to be a G minor arpeggio, so G, B flat, D, G. Now be very careful, the arpeggio starts with a rest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as you can see, I'm doing a crossing, and then G, G, D, D. So what I want to do here to express this melody is first of all make it dominant, so louder than the right hand chords, but also play it really smoothly with lots of arm movement to allow that arpeggio to glide. And as I'm rising with the melody, I'm going to do a crescendo, and when I come down the octave at the end, I'm going to make it light. So strong, light, strong, light. So make sure you're not accenting the last note of the phrase, especially because it's at the bass. So your peak point is the high G and then the high D, and then nicely releasing into the octave. In bar 21, again, we start on a rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a much easier melody to read, but be careful to keep it connected, and again, sing through the melody. Imagine a cello playing this left hand. The right-hand chords are a lot more complicated here because they change quite frequently, so it's very useful to block it out, to learn where the hand is moving from which position to which. So C minor chord, first bar, then we go G, C, D, a suspension chord which resolves to a G major. Then we have a G minor, then again a suspension chord that resolves onto D major. Then in bar 21 we have D minor, F, A, D, then E, B flat, D, which goes to a G minor, then back to D minor, A major, E, A, C sharp, back to D minor, and the A flattens down. And that's the chords. Now if you play it again, just make sure you get the accuracy of the 3 notes, and here there's no more melody in the staccato chords, so this is purely accompaniment. We don't need to emphasize any note. The emphasis is going to be on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's put it together. So really focusing on the left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Piano. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So first phrase is forte loud, second phrase piano, and then back to forte. And when we finish this phrase here, that's when we go back to the B section. So it comes back and it's identical to the first time we played it, except the very first note, which is jumps down to the low E flat to create that drama. So we can have a sforzato here, and then back to pianissimo. So press into that first note, and then carrying on exactly like we did it first in the B section. Then when we finish the B section, again with this chord sustaining the E flat, the D section, or the ending, is quite simple. We have again some sustained notes, so B flat, A flat, and everything else needs to be very light and staccato and sustaining those dotted half notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have a fermata on the final chord, and very pianissimo, and also we have diminuendo e poco ritenuto, so getting softer and slowing down as we approach this endings. It almost feels like that, you know, the excitement is now over. I came home, I'm in the house, everybody was greeted, and now we can all go to bed. That's kind of what goes through my mind when I think about this ending here. It's a beautiful piece, so much fun to play. And as I said, the 2 main challenges are keeping those chords very staccato, accurate, and tension-free. And the second challenge is voicing, making sure we emphasize the top note of those chords where we need to, and emphasize the left-hand melody against the right-hand chords.